Okay. Well, so I am basically moving out of my apartment. I've been here for about a year and 3 or 4 months. It's the second time I've had an apartment. Um, it's probably the 30 or 40th place I've lived since leaving my house when I was 18, 19, leaving my parents' place. And uh, and why am I making this video? I'm making it because I've come to a few conclusions, and I'm pretty sure that YouTube is more of a liberal platform at this point, and so I thought maybe because this is more of a liberal idea, hopefully they don't try to censor it. But so um, the point is that housing is way off. There is a because I'm a conservative, like it's kind of the one issue that I'm really liberal on is housing, is I just think it's so like horrible. And what's happened is basically, some bright-eyed guy somewhere, some congressional leader, or Republican or Democrat or senator or whatever, decided, oh, you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna, make sure that houses keep rising in value. Just and we'll subsidize certain areas. We'll make sure that the certain areas can never have certain kinds of houses. That way, we can protect the value in certain areas. So there's a lot of that goes into it. That's just very briefly, you know, part of when they created the zoning laws. How it went down. And so I'm not here to say that zoning laws um, were right or wrong, but I think in many cases they were racist. So I'm not trying to say, down with zoning laws yet, but I think that we can do much better. Instead of saying, only this certain income can live here, and then the houses just keep rising and rising and rising. Instead of doing that, we need to have neighborhoods that are integrated. Oh, this guy, he doesn't have 2 cents to rub together. We just want to put up a shack for him. What about that, right? Well, at least he's got something, you know? Everyone has this ideal in America where you have to have running water, you have to have plumbing, you have to have electric, you gotta have, your fridge, you gotta have your microwave, and there's a standard, which is, I mean, I agree that's where we want to live, and that's, I'm not even gonna pretend that I don't want all those things. I do, but like we've we've held we hold so hard to the standard that we can't even see why everyone's homeless. Like homeless population just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Why? It's because we hold to the standard and we can't see, from A to B. We can't see, okay, well, they're in A on the streets. If they really want to get to B, do we really think that they should have to get a job and hold it for 2 years so that they can get a loan from a bank so that they can buy a $300,000 home that they really, don't want? Really all they want is just something they can put over their head temporarily. So, I think we have basically lost our way in many, with the housing in many ways. And, great. I'm so, if people want, if there's a lot of, people out there that, just can't stand anyone that doesn't have, right? That doesn't have enough money, you know, to live in the high standard. Those are the kind of people they're icky to me. They're disgusting. I have contempt, great contempt, for people who can't see from A to B. And also people that can't understand that, we need to be able to go from A to B like this. Oh, that guy's homeless. He needs a place to stay. Therefore, he needs a place to stay. Let's go get him a place to stay. Not, oh, let's go and get him a room to rent. Oh, yeah, so that he can spend all his money renting. That is not helping. It's not. You're talking, and I'm someone I've rented so many times. And every single time I rented, I was like, I don't want to rent. Like, this is not what I want to do. So here I am moving again, and the reason I'm moving is because these guys, they it was the pandemic, I lost my job, and they still gouged me every single month. Now, you can say I did it to myself because I couldn't get the money and all these things. Yeah, sure, that's true. There's room to go around to say, oh, well, that was his fault. And so I accept blame in many situations, but I never wanted to be renting in the first place. And yes, there's rent to own, which is a good program. And yes, there are programs, that take about a year or two to get a home. With government help, you can actually put sweat equity into homes. There's all these great programs, okay? But that's not my point. That's never been my point. My point is that people often need temporary reprieve. And often they need something that may not be the ideal. And they don't need to spend all their money renting rooms, renting apartments, basically throwing their money away every single month. They're like anyone else. They need to be putting all of their money into an asset. So what's the answer? And I'm not the guy to say that I know everything. I don't. In fact, I have a lot of research to do right now. But it was two and a half weeks ago, I got this idea. I had this idea to basically, take all these recycled, trash, all the recycled trash, and to basically, create homes out of the recycled plastics. And it's not my idea. People already have this idea, so it's out there. And I'm not. There's a guy in Colombia doing it. There's a guy in Ghana doing it. These are guys that are just basically trying to say, hey, we got to recycle this plastic. We got to put it into something useful. So, that's one option, and there's other options. Like, there's people that have said, well, what if we create houses in a way that you can build them and take them down? And then you have the small houses, the tiny houses. That's a movement. Okay, so you have all these people that are basically saying, I don't like the way our society's going. And just so I'm on the record, I do not like the way our society is going. During the pandemic, rents went up. During the pandemic, housing costs went up. During the pandemic, construction costs went up. Okay, now there's inflation. You can't say there's not inflation. There is. So, we're basically saying, okay, there's an issue here. And what's the answer? What's the answer? And I don't think we have come up with it. Like, there's so many building codes, construction is such a very, what do you want to call it? It's basically an industry where, you screw up just a little bit sometimes, and, the city will get on your rear end. You have to have inspections for everything. You got to follow OSHA. You got to do all these things, right? And so, it's not like you can go out there and start building these lesser homes. You have to have quality, especially in the U.S. But I think what needs to probably happen is you need to have a guy that will actually just build the bare minimum for people and just keep on going. Let them finish the house, but you need a guy out there that's going to say, you want a house? I'll get you a house. You can build it in 2 days. 2 days. Look, I got all these parts. Slap it together like a puzzle. Boom. You got a house. And then get another one done. And another, and another, and another. And we need to be building millions of homes. Okay? Oh, there's no sewer. Oh, the septic. Oh, you know what? You gotta, your power, we can't connect your power because of this and this and this. Oh, we can't connect water because of this and this and this, right? All these questions. Okay? We can build a home which has the capacity for water. It has the capacity for electricity. It has the capacity. And we can pre-assemble parts that basically have, the needed holes where the wires can go, whatever. However you want it to be made. And, we can also move more towards solar. But here's the thing. Homes like they used to be, and these homes that were brick and mortar homes, right? They don't need to be constructed the same way they were before. These homes are going to last 50 to 70 years, the ones that have been built. But if you make it out of plastic, if you really do a great job, you can have a home that lasts for 500 years, and you can take it apart. Okay? That's what we need to be doing. And why am I sharing this with people? I'm the kind of guy that shares. That's just who I am. And yeah, I hope that people get the idea, get the picture. I hope they see what is actually happening. The housing prices are going to keep going up, guys. They're going to keep going up, and there's going to be people that are rich enough to keep going up and keep paying more and more and more. It's going to happen because, the people at the top are going to get richer. But, if we don't actually take care of the people that don't have a place, then they never actually get to start. And that's what's so frustrating. For me, I built a treehouse when I was 14 years old. I was ready to work my butt off and to have everything and just go after life when I was 14. I was ready to do it. I actually told my sister that. I said, I'm ready. I don't need much. I'm ready to go out there and to work my butt off. And I've worked so hard. I've really worked hard. And there are a lot of people that, want to say, oh, you're lazy. Oh, yeah. No, I'm not. Okay? If I ever am being lazy, then I'm like, shoot, I'm being lazy. I gotta get moving. Right? But it has been 25 years since I built that treehouse. 27, actually. 27 or 28. But I was 14. I'm 38. 14, so 24 years. 24 years. And I've never had a place that I could call my own, that I could bring my tools, right? I could actually count on being there, that I could actually have a place where I could fix my truck, right? A little place to fix everything, put all my saws, all my tools, all this stuff over here, that I'm moving out again and again and again. Like, it's a problem, guys. What's happening is people are moving towards rents as though it's the right way to be. And so they're not actually achieving ownership. And people that do decide to own, they're spending 30 years paying someone else off. Is that really what we want? Getting your education and then spending 10 to 15 years to pay, is that really what we want? It's disgusting in my opinion. I've never accepted slavery, and that's exactly what debt is to me. You're enslaved to someone else's ownership of your life in one way or another. I've always believed in freedom. Um, and so, what needs to happen is we need to create a very cost effective, and I mean very, 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 very cost effective way of building. It needs to happen, and we need to fight people who want to try to hit us with zoning law requirements that don't allow us to actually just house the poor. And trust me, there are people that want to, you got funding from the government for your house, so therefore you're subject to these requirements. No way. Everyone deserves a place to stay. And they deserve to have a place that's theirs. It's not regulated by the government because this and that. No. We need to figure out a way to help people make a modest payment and to be able to buy homes a lot more quickly. It needs to happen. And I hope everyone understands that. And I hope everyone can, I guess the way to do it is if you want to like this or click subscribe, or if you want to reach out to me in the comment section and just say, hey, I'd like to help you out. Yeah, it's great. I don't even know, right now I'm not even like looking for help for anything right now. I'm just saying what I see. I'm stating what I see. The housing situation is wrong. The ability of homeowners and these big apartment complexes and management companies just to keep on asking more and more and more, not acceptable. Not acceptable. And we need to provide something much better.